Routine blood tests is what we're going to dive in today. Humans are not so binary that they're healthy one day and not the next. If your body and energy is just not feeling the way it used to, then the changes that have led to those symptoms have likely been going on for years, if not decades, prior to today. And where we see those changes is in our blood markers and in the slow and gradual shift of blood markers away from what is optimal for human health. I'm Mandy, clinical nutritionist in the Body Reset program, and I have had the privilege over the last couple of years of going through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blood tests from our clients in the program. And what I can tell you is that routine blood tests are a gold mine of information if we know how to interpret them and if we know how to ask the right questions to actually make some changes with them and move them closer towards optimal. What I'd like to do today is I would like to take you through two of the common themes that I see coming through in blood work. And this is themes that show up in people that are specifically looking to improve their energy, improve their general health and well-being, and likely lose a little bit of weight and just get back to feeling how they used to. Okay, these are the people that are no longer feeling normal, but maybe their blood markers suggest that they are normal. So I've got two real life examples. These are clients that we have worked with in the program. These are both people that went to their GP, got their bloods done, and frustratingly, their bloods came back and, everything was normal and the GP said no concerns. But these two people did not feel normal. They were feeling like their weight loss was really sluggish, their energy wasn't great. And so they dug a little bit deeper. So we're going to go through those today. And if there's one thing that I really want you to take away from today, it is to have that little bit more information to ask the right questions so that you can know when the time is right for you to actually do a bit more digging or maybe even reach out for help to get your blood markers back on your side so that your energy and all that can improve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so you can actually have a look at these numbers that we're going to go through to make it all that more real. We're going to talk about these two key trends that I see with blood work with clients all the time. So I hope you find this really interesting. I'm going to pop this up now. So the first one we're going to look at here is a male. Now this would be the same scenario for a female, but this particular client was a male. And what I would say, if there's a trend or a theme with his blood work, is that there is some significant metabolic dysfunction going on. There is a term which you may have heard, which is called metabolic dysfunction anyway. So it is when blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar balance, and generally abdominal belly fat are all kind of going in the wrong direction. And this metabolic dysfunction leads to increased risk of heart attack, heart disease, stroke, arthritis, diabetes, cancer, all sorts of things, which we really, really don't want. And it is considered to be a global epidemic at this point because it's increasing at such an alarming rate. So this is a classic example of someone who's teetering on the edge of that, but he's not yet there. And he's being told that these are normal, but these are not really normal blood markers. So the first one here is HbA1c. This is a long-term blood sugar control marker. Once you go over 40, you're sort of nudging into that category of pre-diabetic. Now, this guy is not over 40, but he's at 40. And it takes a long time to get to this because a healthy individual sits closer to 30. So this creeps up slowly and gradually. This will have been creeping up for years and he hasn't known. And now he's right on the cusp of it going into that pre-diabetic category, but he's been told it's normal. And if we look down a little bit further, what goes hand in hand with this is this increase of these two liver markers here, this one, GGT, and then ALT here as well, which should both be down in the teens. Okay, so again, they are not outside of the normal range. He has not gone out of range. They've not been flagged by in red by the doctor, but they are slowly, gradually increasing because of the energy imbalances that are occurring in his body. There's a couple more that go alongside this, which we will just have a look at. So there's the lipid panels as well. So cholesterol, we can see two key things going on here. In fact, his total cholesterol is actually not abnormal. So again, GP would probably be quite happy with this because it's not too high, which is great. But his HDL, or his good cholesterol, is decreasing and it is now too low, and his triglycerides are way, they're more than double above the normal range. This is a sign that things are really moving in the wrong direction as far as his cardiovascular health, and his ability to deal with carbohydrates and sugar, which is leading to some of the low energy that he's feeling, as well as the increased belly fat that he's getting. And then one more here is his fasting glucose. And again, this one is actually flagged as high because it is above the normal range. This one should be under 5 in fasting blood tests. So again, it tells us he's not dealing with his blood sugars well, which means all that extra stress is going on his liver. This extra glucose is being turned into fat and it's being stored as belly fat. And what he's feeling as a result of this is his energy is low because he's not getting that beautiful energy from the food he's eating because it's all just going into fat storage. And he's gaining weight even though he feels like he's eating less and less. So his energy is less because he doesn't have that good energy coming in, and he's just feeling more and more sluggish. Okay, this is a really, really common scenario. It is sort of like the precursor to what would be called metabolic syndrome, but he's not there yet. And if he doesn't do something about this now, he's very, very soon going to be there. So seeing these blood markers before he gets there means that he can start to act on these and change these and move them back the other way, which, and he'll feel so much better for that. The second one that I want to go into is a slightly different one. This is kind of the other end of the spectrum. This is someone who is really, really nutrient depleted. They actually feel the same. They struggle to lose weight because their body's not functioning as it should. But they're on the other end of the spectrum where everything is just really, really low. This person in particular, their ferritin or their iron's really low, not below normal, but well below optimal. And we can see their other blood markers are sort of heading that way as well. We can see potassium is really high. Potassium, when that goes high, can be a sign that there's some muscle mass breakdown. Potassium should be inside of our cells, not so much in our bloodstream. So when it's elevated, it can be that we're breaking down muscle because we're underfed. Another one here, creatinine, again, it's too low, which suggests to us that there is some breakdown that is occurring as a result of a lack of nutrition going in. This is someone who's chronically dieting. They're way under eating, over exercising, and their body is in a nutritionally depleted state where they can no longer function well. Their energy is depleted, and they actually might be gaining weight despite all the effort that they're putting in there. Couple more markers here. The same person, chronically low vitamin B12. Again, not below normal, but well below optimal. This should be up near 500. And that's really going to have a huge impact on energy. And then we can see these markers here in their liver as well, really, really depleted, showing low signs of mineral uptake, low signs of protein uptake. And then if we look down here at their protein as well, again, just really, really low. This person is super depleted across the board, and that is showing up as sluggish energy and inability to lose weight. So 2 different examples of 2 different people, but looking to achieve the same end. Both of them couldn't lose weight. Both of them, their energy was really low. And both of them needed to be not necessarily fed less, but fed better. And the irony is that both of these people had these bloods done and were told, that's normal. But as you can see, there's so much that we can pull out of there to actually see what's happening, what's going on, what's changing inside the body under the hood, which if we know that that's happening, we can then address it through how we move, how we eat, how we supplement, etc., to get that going back in the right direction. And it becomes that fence at the top of the cliff rather than the ambulance at the bottom. So we're catching it before it gets to that point of the person actually being sick or actually having developed some sort of condition as a result of these long-term deficiencies or long-term imbalances in their blood work. So it is really confusing, and blood work needs to be taken in the context of the human as a whole, alongside what they're feeling, what they're experiencing, what they're doing day to day. So you can't really just take a sheet of bloods without knowing anything about the person and make assumptions there. And it's why I can't really, just formulate a list of blood markers and give that out to everyone to read their own, because it really needs to be kind of interpreted in a whole scenario. But what I do have that you might be interested in is I have a resource which I've put together of the common blood markers that I would check and what they might mean if you in particular are looking to improve your energy and improve your health in general. This is just a really great resource to have a read through, learn a little bit more about what blood markers you might be needing to look at, so that when you go to your GP or whatever it is to talk about this, you actually have that information to ask the right questions, which is the key thing that I want you to understand about today. So if you would like that, just comment blood work down below, and we can get that sent out to you. And hopefully that will just help you to be able to ask those right questions and make some changes that really improve your health and wellness today. Hopefully that was interesting, guys, and helpful for you. Have an awesome day, and I will see you later.